Christian asks a question. Okay. I've listened to a lot of your podcasts. All right, we'll find out. Usually while working out or walking, I've noticed that you always recommend walking after the kettlebell practice, never before. Never before. It's not like there's no line in the sand here. I actually sometimes will walk before I lift as a thing I call a warm-up. Why is that? I have a book called Easy Strength for Fat Loss, and I get this information from the great Rusty Moore, who I really like reading. I enjoy Rusty's work. His materials really were helpful for me. I've tried to give back to him by giving some weightlifting suggestions. I think he's a quality guy, and he's been very helpful for me. The reason we walk after our kettlebell workout, our easy strength workout, is because we're coming in easy strength for fat loss. So we're coming in the morning after a good night's sleep. And that's, I think, really important. Right there, I think a good night's sleep. It's funny because that's it's such an important thing to make sure you do. If you really want to improve your body composition, sleep well for 365, 366 days in a year. I'm on a goal of 9 hours of sleep all year long. That's my current goal. I know, what a hero. I'm trying to sleep 9 hours every night. Please, folks, please. I'm not a hero, okay? But I eat dinner probably, 5 or 6, and then I try not to eat after dinner. I try not to have any caloric beverages, which is sad because, some of my favorite beverages have calories in them. And then if I eat 5 or 6 and then I wake up at 6, 7, I'm already at a 13-hour fast, sometimes a bit longer. And then when I wake up, I drink a lot of coffee, which again, just like everything else I'm telling you, these all free up fatty acids. Then we lift weights, which frees up more fatty acids. And then after that, then we go for a little walk. And Rusty Moore's point is that walk, I always explain it like little Pac-Man. While I'm walking, my little Pac-Men, they're eating all that free fatty acid. Can you get the same benefits of walking before you work out? Sure. I like to walk after I work out because I'll tell you, this is a good example. I used to go to Bikram yoga. Now, I never liked some of the stuff in Bikram yoga, and then I find out, that he's not really a quality guy. I knew they were lying about him placing at the 64 Olympics because I know the Olympics. I know Olympic lifting. What I liked about it was I could do these 26 movements in a really hot room, and it really seemed to help my mobility, my flexibility. But there was an issue. Even if I showered after, I put on clean clothes. If I went to the store to buy, a rotisserie chicken and some vegetables, I would already start sweating again. And I always felt like I looked like a mass murderer while I was walking around the store, I remember a woman one time, I was standing in line and she kind of edged away from me. And I had to think to myself, oh, okay, I get this. Well, one of the reasons I like to walk after I lift is it allows me to kind of cool my jets a little bit. When you're lifting, like you're doing a max lift or a big lift, or you're doing, that one program I have, Easy Strength for Fat Loss with Olympic lifting, you're doing the snatches and the clean and jerks and the front squats and then the finisher on that is a power clean and press. And then I go for a stroll with Mike and everybody, and we talk about finances and football games and movies we saw. And by the time I get home, the engines have gone, and I've calmed back down, and I don't sound like someone who's just dropped a lot of weights. When I was young, I used to train like at the upper limit. I used to finish my lifting, and then I had someone watching Kelly. She was a baby at the time. She's 33 now, so this is a little while ago. And I can always remember showing up, and I was still in the zone, big eyes, trap still bulging. Not a great way to pick up an infant. Well, it worked out okay. That's one of the reasons I always like to walk after I lift. Is walking before fine? Absolutely. In fact, a lot of workouts, I'll get out early before anybody shows up to train with me. And I'll do just a couple of loops with heavy hands. And those are the days if I feel especially stiff. Like a lot of you, I get, when I squat, weirdly, my thighs, my butt, my lower back can get sore. Or not even sore, stiff. It's just like, you just kind of feel like you got to move. I like that. I also like to dose in. I make it sound real scientific. I have this concept of dosing in the afternoons, a bilateral human impedance workout with canines. I walk my dogs. Sirius is he's always an adventure. When you take him for a walk, he pretends he's deaf now, which cracks me up. But if you open up a bag of anything, he's right there. He's a challenge. But taking your dog for a walk and all that other stuff, walking with the kids, going to an amusement park, going through a park, going to a museum, all that extra walking is wonderful. And don't try to think that walking is just for exercise. Walking is just a great way for humans to work and think. One thing I started doing years ago, and this is the exact one, and I want to thank my friend RJ Hughes for getting it to me. This is one of those little all-weather notepads, and when I walk, especially if I'm walking over here at Wheeler Farm, I'll put this in my pocket with a pen, because whenever I walk, a really good idea comes into my head, and the idea about either my finances or a book or a program or how to fix one of my athletes' technical issues or something like that. I find that walking really opens up my thinking, my creative process. Nothing new. If you go to Lit Hub there on the online, you'll find that almost every writer in history also was a walker. Albert Einstein, of course, rode his bike and went for long walks. So many great authors walked. St. Augustine, what did they say? Solidade, Alamundo. Basically, it is solved. It is cured by walking. It is solved by walking. I always thought that was just wonderful. So yeah, big fan of walking, and try not to think of my advice as either or. It's just, I like walking after I lift for the fat loss benefits. I like walking other times for what it does for my brain. Okay. Thank you. I always like those questions. Okay. I always like those. If you don't know about Easy Strength for Fat Loss, danjohnuniversity.com/bookstore. It's right there.